What's up, guys? Adam Park here, and today we are going to continue our series on leadership traits. Now, these are things that the Marine Corps specifically define as characteristics that you as a leader should be striving every single day of your life to develop and maintain. That those that you are weak in, that you work to improve, and those that you are adequate or excel in, that you continue to maintain that status level with that specific characteristic. These are things that you should ensure if you are in a senior leadership position that you are developing in your junior leaders. Let's say that you are the guild leader or you are a senior officer. You know, you've been around in your guild for quite a long time and maybe a position opened up and your guild leader or you guys, however you do it, decided to bring on a second or third or how many ever officers. Just hopefully not too many. Hopefully you guys watched that video. And you know, this is a newer guy that maybe has never led before or is, not as experienced as you are. Take them under your wing. Teach them these things. Make sure that they are developing integrity and unselfishness and bearing and all these things that we've talked about. And these are most definitely items that you as a new or potential leader want to work at every single day. You want to be the group leader for a pug. Maybe a weekly group. You want to run your guild's alt run, or maybe, you are in a position where you are unable to raid for whatever reason with your guild. They're doing a higher level than you're able to commit to, time schedule, whatever the case might be. But you could run a normal on the weekends, whatever. These are things that you want to be working on every single day. Now, with that being said, we are going to be talking about today courage. Now, what is courage? Because courage is very obviously there's going to be a disconnect initially with courage. Courage is, regardless of the trial, regardless of the weight pressing against you, regardless of what's going on, and your fear, your true primal fear about something, that you continue to move forward. That you continue to push yourself, that you continue to go. Now, what I mean by this, and because these are Marine Corps leadership traits, I will speak from experience and say, when you're in the middle of a firefight and bullets are whizzing by you, as is the case that I have experienced, and shit is blowing up, and you come under rocket fire or mortar fire, which again, I've been there. It's scary. It's absolutely scary. It's a holy shit, I'm going to die. The next mortar is going to get me. If I pop my head up to see what's going on, I'm going to get shot. If, I'm going to be that unlucky dude that, doesn't come back from this deployment. And it is terrifying. However, you still need to push forward. You still need to, in my case, call it in on the radio. You still need to pop your head up and return fire. You need to figure out what's going on. You need to figure out where your Marines are at. You need to start pushing forward, making calls, getting people, your Marines around you, to do what needs to be done to kind of fix this situation. So it is a little bit different, and there can initially be a disconnect when I say have the courage to sit in front of a computer monitor for a couple of hours, tell people that their performance is poor, and continue doing it every night. But that's what I'm telling you guys is, yes, absolutely, raid leading is extremely stressful. Raid leading is, in many cases, especially if you are new, it's nerve-wracking. And it is scary. It's scary to put yourself out there and make calls, to call out. The first thing that comes to mind for me is when we are doing heroic Harjatan, and I'm calling out to the DPSers when to switch to ads. If I make a wrong call, we're probably going to wipe. Or I'm going to put pressure on my healers, and they're going to bitch about it later. Rightfully so. That's scary. If I screw up, I know either I'm going to wipe the raid as the raid leader, or I'm going to piss my healers off. Making these call outs, calling people out, especially if you are in a position where, let's say, you're very shy or you're not a very vocal person, and I'm going to put it out there, and it's stereotypical, and I don't mean to be offensive when I say it, but sometimes if you are a female, World of Warcraft, I would say the majority of the demographic is male. So guys are idiots. We're stupid. And a lot of us are going to make and say stupid shit, especially when there is a girl in charge. That's the case. It's not right. I'm not saying it is, but it is the case. And it can be scary. I've had girls that I have known and played with that have been guild members that have refused to talk during the raid because they know herp derp, there's a girl in the raid, cyber me, etc. Now this was, 5, 6, 8 years ago, maybe during Burning Crusade. And now, my guild wouldn't stand for it. You're a woman, you're a man, we don't really care. Just do good DPS and kill things. But it is scary, and I understand where people are coming from, where, you are having a hard time, or you're shy, or, people are going to make fun of you, or you're worried about making the wrong call, or you're worried about pulling people to the side and saying, hey, look, you are not performing up to the standard that we need. You are well below par. We're going to have to sit you for the night and deal with the argumentative people and, the bad mouthing and, the constant issues that go along with raid leading. It sucks, and it's stressful, and it's worrisome, and sometimes it's scary, especially when you piss people off. Especially and I've been there, and you guys that have raid led before and been guild leaders, or just in a leadership position for any length of time, you will see that people get pissed off. And I remember several different instances where people have, I've made a call. Hey, stop standing in something. Oh, fuck you. What? Like now, we know, here we go. Or, people spouting off because others in the raid either aren't doing their job, aren't performing, or probably the worst case, are simply different, or they don't agree with sexual orientation, or their gender in general, their political views, their ideological views, whatever the case might be. They don't agree with it. Words get thrown out there, and this is over 10 or 11 years of raiding, and it is scary to go, you're being a dick, I'm going to sit you, or you are no longer a good fit for the guild, you are toxic for the guild, we don't need you. But as a leader, this is your job, is to ensure that you have the best group available, that you are putting your best people out onto the field. And you're going to have to make these calls, and you're going to have to do it, and you're going to have to keep pushing. And that right there is courage. Is it the same as, taking incoming fire and, getting up and charging that machine gun nest, or, jumping on that grenade, or, calling in, whatever on the radio, or doing what needs to be done in a very, thematic, heroic way? No, it's not. You're sitting in front of the computer playing a video game for a few hours a week. But the principles behind it still stand. You're worried, you're scared, you're stressed out, you don't want to make a bad call, you are hesitant. You are hesitating to do something, but the courage in you pushes you forward to do it, regardless of how you feel. Now, with all that being said, guys, hopefully you like what I'm saying here. If you do, you guys know the deal. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Both of those things encourage me a great deal to continue to make the content that you are watching right now, or maybe listening to. If you did not like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs down button. That's cool with me. However, hopefully you guys would have the courage to step up and say, hey, I didn't like this video, or maybe I did like this video because whatever reason. Throw it in the comment section down below. If you guys have any questions that you want to throw out to me, I would love, and I've said this before, I love making these videos above all else where I'm answering the questions that you guys have. And until next time, I'll see ya.